Hello and welcome back to Softcore History. My name is Jake Goldman, and I'm joined by my two co-hosts, Dan Regester and Rob Fox. For those of you that have never listened to the show before, we are a softcore history podcast. We don't go too deep into anything, but we try to make you laugh. We try to find obscure stuff. We try to find weird stuff, so get into that.
And if we're wrong, we don't care.
We don't. We truly don't.
In the words of Stephen A. Smith, we don't care.
Yeah.
We don't care.
It's not. That's not why we're here.
We're here to have
Don't
fun.
hang on. Don't hang on to anything we say.
Do not
Unless
argue.
it's right. If it's right,
If
then
it's correct, then
do that.
cite
Yeah.
us.
Quote
Actually,
us.
I'm going to take everything they just said back. If you are in a position to argue with your professor or boss, use our information.
Mhm.
Definitely use it in arguments.
You should cite us in your papers because that's a good workaround from citing Wikipedia.
Yeah, that's right. We're the buffer in between.
We're that middleman, baby.
Yeah, get used to it. But yeah, also just some good housekeeping as well. We have a Patreon, and here's the deal. We need your money more than ever. Give us your money.
Unemployed.
I'm unemployed. Well,
This is why he's so desperate
unemployment
right off the bat.
The unemployment office does not pay me for the weeks we get paid, which is hilarious.
Don't
No, we can't.
report it, you idiot.
That's fraud.
Who
dog.
cares? Commit tax fraud.
No, the one place I don't want to commit fraud is probably Texas on unemployment and welfare services.
They don't
Dude,
check it.
I keep telling you all the time, be gay and commit crime, and you won't do either of those things.
Do you know how much our
won't.
show would grow if you were just gay?
I never thought about it that way.
And just a gay bro?
I'll have to talk to my wife about this. Maybe
Lean into it, dude.
honey, if you're listening.
At least you'll be physically fit.
I don't think becoming gay just magically makes you thin, Dan.
No, it's like TRT.
Yeah, it
Just
is.
all of a sudden, I just drop like 30 pounds.
Once you inject testosterone into your body, naturally.
Are you saying I need to microdose some test?
I think he's saying
Macro
Swallow
dose?
some loads, yeah.
Okay.
I thought of a funny joke to use somewhere. Well, maybe it's not funny, but I don't know where to use it yet in like writing, and it's just like a huge gay orgy, and they're like trying to like get someone out of there for some reason, like they have an emergency or something. Like you can't take him out. He's a load-bearing twink,
Wow, man.
and he's just getting pumped full of loads.
I think the gay movement has progressed as rapidly as it has because they're hot.
Yes.
They're hot dudes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Put them at the front. The guy who looks like fucking He-Man.
Lesbians not so much because they never put their best and brightest up front.
I don't think that's true.
A lot of times they don't. A lot of times it's
Who's the front of either of those movements?
when it comes to like lesbian
No,
movements.
both of them. I want to hear who's like the person you first think of for each of those movements.
You're really just saying, who's the most famous gay guy you can think of?
Right.
Hugh Jackman,
Neil Patrick Harris.
Hugh Jackman's gay?
It's like the
allegedly.
alleged.
well,
But out
Tom Cruise
out
then.
Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah.
They're just any gym bro, really.
Just any guy in a crop top tank top?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
But you're right, they're hot. Like you're not really part of you is never going to say no to He-Man.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean?
He's the master of the universe.
Yeah.
And the master of your butt. Anyway, yeah, we do have a Patreon, though.
Dude, they get it, man. It's patreon.com/softcorehistory.
A bunch of extra
additional
episodes
a week.
We're a bunch of fun new stuff coming this year. I know we're like, oh, it's code 2. It starts in February, basically, is kind of
And the
launch date
content's
for all
still
that.
there. There's 2 years of evergreen content.
Huge catalog. So if
Yeah.
you just need more time to kill, I encourage you to tell any friend you have that is driving a long distance in the near future.
Yeah, please. Actually,
Like if someone's like, dude, my dad died and I can't afford a plane ticket. I got to drive back home. You got to be like, oh, dude, you know what cheer you up real quick? Not to plug this, but like, 'cause I know it's a long drive because we live in Miami and you're from Phoenix.
Right. oh my God.
Softcore history.
It's a straight
I would-
drive, I-10.
It is not a straight drive from Miami to Phoenix.
Well, I mean, you got to once you get to Jacksonville. it
Yeah,
is.
but the up is
all right, so
just,
95 to 10. Sorry, you have 2 roads, bro.
It's 2 turns, yes. But that's just as miserable, I would say. That 95 part.
I used to do a straight shot from Orlando to Philly. It was all 95.
And you know what, guys? This is the kind of content you won't hear on the Patreon. You won't hear a traffic talk. So check it out.
Maybe you
yeah, we
will.
saved that for the main just to
Yeah.
kind of extend the time.
Yeah.
That's
like
how we get you in.
That's that. Oh man, what was the book? Oh, 50 Shades of Grey got like dinged for that. People were all annoyed at that because they talked about like unnecessary traffic routes in the book, like
she's a
constantly.
poor
It would go
author.
They're important
It
details.
would go
I'm
from
sorry.
like just like weird, BDSM sex to like I took I don't know what the highways are up there. I took
Yeah.
the 10 to the 50 because
But everyone knows that road's one way, so like you can't go that way.
Yeah.
It was
ludicrous. Yeah. Also, the thing about 50 Shades, too, was the idea that a young professional didn't know how to use a computer well.
I think that makes sense too. Wasn't that chick like Mormon or something? No, Stephanie Meyer's Mormon. I don't know if this. And then this chick was doing Twilight fan fiction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's Twilight fan fiction, and but the character doesn't know how to use a computer well.
She's just a sweet, innocent girl.
It's the ultimate. Just put yourself in the shoes. Anyway, we're not.
The whole point is she doesn't really. She hasn't experienced the world. This man is opening it up.
You know what? Fuck what I was going to talk about today. We're going to talk about 50 Shades of Grey and what we each think of it.
I've only seen like 10 minutes of it.
I've never seen either. I've just read.
We interviewed a 50 Shades of Grey actor on this very show.
Yeah, dude. I wasn't here.
Max Martini?
Yeah, he talked about it, how he was in 50 Shades. He plays like the dude's security advisor.
Really?
Yeah.
I must have not been.
So we interviewed Max. Go back and listen
I must
to that
have
episode.
not been present in that moment.
Mentally.
You just blocked out.
Well, check that
The
out.
first half of that episode was me fangirling because he was in Saving Private Ryan and just asking him questions that even he didn't know the answers
He
to.
didn't know shit.
It's like, you really just need to talk to Tom Hanks.
Max Martini was like, "Oh yeah, yeah,
Wow.
that's
Did that
crazy.
happen in that movie?
Was I in that scene?
If I wasn't in it, I don't know.
Respect,
I love that.
Respect,
I love
by the way,
that.
that if he wasn't directly in the scene, he had no idea.
No, I mean, why? It's a job, dude. Like, he's not like. I wonder how many actors just don't even watch the movies they're in. They have
Most.
to, right?
I think a lot.
I think even the good ones.
Because he was talking about how 50 Shades was just a fucking job.
Not to like dog on Max. He's a good actor, but like a Cillian Murphy, I don't think he watches the movies. He
You don't
didn't
think
watch
so?
Oppenheimer.
You don't think so?
No,
I think he
he's
saw it.
been on record saying he doesn't.
Oh,
Sweet. Good for him.
I like that. It would take me out of it if I saw me in it. Be like, I don't know.
Well, I have to
know if
listen to my stupid voice like 12 times a week.
Oh, that's true.
Because I'm on this show, I have to edit it, and then I'm also on a new UFC show called Full Casual with Giorgio.
If you
Go ahead and
think,
listen to that as well. Download, subscribe, available where podcasts
Like and review.
are.
whoa,
Also on YouTube.
no free ads, dude.
It's my ad.
You paying?
Nope.
What the fuck? Anyway, all right. Well, I'm gonna plug some stuff in. Check me out at Jake W. Goldman.
No, get
on
to your
Instagram.
show. Let's
Okay,
go.
fine. Yeah. So next week, big holiday in Florida. Do you guys know what it is? You know what it is? I already told you, so you should remember.
Yeah, Pirate Mardi Gras.
It's Pirate Mardi Gras.
Gasparilla.
It's Gasparilla week.
It's my favorite, I think, college event that we did.
Yeah, it's fun.
It was
You would, but
for
you
those
were in
unfamiliar, every college kid in the state of Florida on this one particular weekend travel to Tampa dressed as pirates with, I believe we all would get grain alcohol.
Yeah.
Kids,
Diesel.
I guess, call it, what do they call it now?
Borgs.
Borgs, yes. But
What you know what that stands for?
big old rage gallon.
Blackout Rage Gallon.
Oh.
Blackout Rage Gown. So back in
And
the
they
day,
name
we
it.
just called it Riot Punch because we watched that episode of Always Sunny.
Wait,
Yeah.
Where they won the World Series. The Phillies won the World Series, and they were drinking the Riot juice. So we would just fill a gallon jug full of grain alcohol and some Gatorade or maybe some sugary substance, some Kool-Aid mix, and then get blackout drunk during a day pirate Mardi Gras.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
I would moss little kids for beads.
That's pretty cool too.
And then give 'em
What
a
little kids for beads?
I would like Randy Moss them,
Oh.
catch the beads over them, and then give them to women.
Would you see their titties?
Sometimes.
Yeah, that happens. It's very much. So I was
Is it
reading
the same rules?
Yeah, pretty,
Typically as Mardi Gras.
I mean, I think it's a little less dirty, to be honest with you. as
Mardi
far
Gras is filthy. Have you been to Mardi Gras?
I've never been to Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras is disgusting.
Gasparilla, if you're on the public side, not the private side. Jake, you're probably a private boy.
I wasn't on the private side. I was
The
on the
public side is equally as gross as Mardi Gras.
It can be, yeah.
To be honest
There's
with you,
people just fucking on the sidewalk
to be completely, I don't remember because I was so drunk.
or in a porta potty.
Yeah, I kind of don't remember Gasparilla that much. I remember the tail end when I blacked back in, and I was like, oh, it's nighttime now. This is weird.
We would routinely lose somebody every year.
Yeah, well, we would with the fraternity go to Mons too for that weekend.
Mons Venus?
Yeah,
No.
it was our
It is the strip club capital of the world.
It's Tampa.
Isn't Mons Venus like the size of a mall?
Mons Venus is tiny, dude.
Oh, what? I thought there was a huge
No,
one.
it's just notoriously gigantic.
Oh,
in,
okay.
I guess stature
It's like yeah.
for its quality of woman.
They don't have private rooms there either. actually.
Oh.
So they're very like everything's out in the open. Weirdest stories I've ever.
I've never actually been.
It's a monster.
Not a strip club guy.
It's a big brother little brother kind of thing, and we had our pledge educator had to get on stage basically during it. It was like a whole thing.
Been there.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm not sure if I don't think we've ever covered this holiday before, but I know.
Usually the holidays we've covered like Saturnalia.
Yeah.
I wrote an entire romantic letter to Gasparilla at TFM.
Did you?
Like
Nice.
I love you.
You can search it on Google.
But yeah,
And those are all my thoughts on Gasparilla, so I never have to participate in this episode again.
Yeah, you
Perfect.
just Google that. Actually, you should just have AI read your article and like in intermittent spots.
yeah,
you
just click it.
You just put that in. Yeah.
You can probably highlight the thing you want to say and just have it speak and spell at you. Yeah. But yeah, so it's kind of like it's definitely smaller in scale than Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras is about 1 million people a year.
Yeah, but not one day.
It's not one day, but it's still
It's over the course of like, the Mardi Gras celebration is there's Tuesday and then there's the weekend before that.
Yeah,
Tuesday.
yeah.
The weekend before that the Tuesday's huge too because it's a city holiday and all that shit. But the weekend before is kind of where people really fucking follow
Gasparilla is
through.
also broken into 2 parades. So there's day parade, which we all go to, and then there's a night parade on another weekend
in Ybor City.
In Ybor City,
Yeah,
which I never got the pleasure to go to, but I
Ybor
heard it's freakier. And
Ybor
crazier.
City is just freakier than Tampa. In
Well, I
general.
mean,
yeah.
there is a freakier event in New Orleans than Mardi Gras.
Which one's that?
Southern Decadence.
What is that?
Gay Mardi Gras.
Have you been there?
Yeah.
For it? What were you doing in Southern for
Gay Mardi Gras?
Yeah,
we were just there. It's on Labor Day weekend. We were just
Oh,
in,
so you're just there, yeah.
We were just there. And I looked around. Like, we just walk around. I was like, a lot of gay dudes. I was like, are we in the gay part? Because there is like a gay strip of,
there's
of Bourbon Street.
by Lafitte's.
And I was like, are
Yeah.
we in the gay part? What's going on? And then all of a sudden, I just kind of like, it was like Homer in the lesbian bar. Like, I just like realized, I was like, oh, I think there's something going on. And then I asked somebody, and they were like, yeah, it's Southern Decadence. I mean, dude, that was maybe the most fun weekend I've had in New Orleans, other than my wedding.
Sure. I mean, it's kind of like, I imagine it's a lot like when you show up on gay day at a Disney World. You're like, oh, it's that day, huh? Like,
You're like, what? Whoa, what's going on?
yeah. But yeah, no, so this, Mardi Gras is like 1 million people over the course of the weekend, but Gasparilla is 300,000 people show up for the event.
No slouch.
So it's a big deal. It's a big tourist attraction.
And there's like a normal parade on the streets. There's a boat parade.
Yeah. I was just about to say, there's actually a full-scale pirate ship parade in Tampa
Sweet.
Bay
Love that.
itself. So they like simulate a pirate invasion.
They had a bowl game for a bit.
They did have the Gasparilla Bowl. That's shut up, Dan. I don't want to talk about that bowl game.
Why?
Y'all, what?
What happened the last time you guys played in the Gasparilla?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
UCF beat us. But yeah, if you've ever wondered why like the Tampa Bay NFL team is called the Buccaneers, this is pretty much the reason, this holiday.
Yeah.
So much like in New Orleans, Mardi Gras is put together by local teams of organizers called crews. This is also put together by a single crew, more specifically, Ye Mystic Crew of Gasparilla, or YKMG. We're going to talk a little bit about them today. But yeah, man, I mean, it's kind of interesting where it gets its background. So currently, the YMKJ Invasion and Parade of Pirates, that's the official name of the Gasparilla Parade, ranks as the 3rd largest parade in the United States. And they also do a children's parade now too, Dan. Did you know this?
What?
No.
Yeah. They
By
do
the way, there are kids at Mardi Gras, and that is in the French Quarter, and you're a fucking lunatic. if
You're abusing
taking
your
a
kid.
picture. Yeah, it's not good.
No, kids got to grow, man.
Yeah.
How small of what's the smallest child you've seen during Mardi Gras?
Well, baby.
Babies are kind of okay.
Yeah, but I did see like 8-year-olds.
That's
10-year-olds,
weird.
Yeah.
I think anything like baby, fine. Not a
well, first off,
anything younger than 10 is like, what the fuck?
anything younger than
13, really?
13, really.
Honestly,
Yeah. I mean, by that point, you're on the internet and shit.
No, Gasparilla's during the day. It is a family event if you do it
well,
right.
so the children's event, they made it, I think it's the weekend before or the weekend after. They do a completely separate kids thing now just because they're like, we should just keep the kids.
And then when you
separate.
pay and go to the, professional side, the side that's a little bit more laid back, chill, I can see families doing that. But yeah, avoid just the college anarchy.
Yeah, absolutely. The Children's Parade is actually the largest in the United States for like children's. It's the largest children's activity in the U.S.
Sweet, sure. I mean, that's a fun thing to do as a kid, dress like a pirate.
Yeah.
And
Are you sure it's the largest children's activity?
I think so. Like it's the largest children's parade. a parade for children. I don't know how you designate that. I don't know what the next largest is.
Is
on
it
that.
bigger than an Iowa game?
Oh, where they all wave at the kid?
They all wave at the
There's
cancer
not
kids.
that many kids there.
Well, not long
A
term.
lot of Iowa fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just waving at like 8 kids. How many
That's-
kids in central Iowa have cancer, really?
Well, a lot of kids have cancer.
I think, yeah, they probably go there.
Well, is it a whole pediatric hospital, or are they just waving to the pediatric wing?
I don't know. You'd have to ask an Iowa fan.
Yeah, and I don't care to.
No, nor would I want to talk about that. But here's the deal. So this thing has
How
an
often do you
economic.
think John Cena visits Iowa?
He's probably
The
got
Grim Reaper?
he's probably got a townhouse
The Angel of Death?
Yeah.
in
he
Des
lives
Moines, right? Isn't University of Iowa in Des Moines?
No, it's in Iowa City.
Okay, whatever. Yeah,
I
he's
would-
got a townhouse there.
I was.
How do
wait,
you not know where Iowa is?
I wouldn't
care.
assume it was in Iowa City. I would assume it was in was it like Cedar Falls or not Cedar Falls?
Not a college town.
What's the one? Des Moines, yeah.
Yeah, Des
And then
Moines is the
isn't-
capital.
Isn't there like a Grand Rapids, Iowa, or some shit like
Yeah,
that?
there's a bunch of cities in Iowa. No one
Yeah.
cares.
We've done an episode on Iowa. It was an axe murder, but
It's probably the most interesting thing
we
that
have an
happened.
inn at that axe murder place.
yeah, we could stay the night there.
Ooh, let's do that. Anyway, how did this whole thing start, though? Where did this weird, like, pirate hooker parade come from?
I am curious when it started because Mardi Gras goes back a long, long way.
Yeah, this does not.
This feels like something from the
Newsflash,
60s.
it does not go a long, long way back. It's pretty much like the turn of the 20th century. So the theme of Gasparilla was inspired by the legend of the pirate Jose Gaspar, who operated off the west coast of Spanish Florida from the 1780s through the 1820s. Different versions of his story say that he was either a Spanish nobleman and advisor to King Charles III of Spain, who was exiled after a romantic scandal in court. Some say he was a traitorous admiral of the Spanish Royal Navy who stole a ship and fled when his treachery was revealed. Or he was just an ambitious young officer in the Spanish Navy who was driven to mutiny by a tyrannically cruel captain. So there are 3 different theories on how Jose Gaspar became this like rebel, like
Pirate.
feared pirate.
Lord.
If we really wanted to, we could do like an entire year of content on pirates.
Just have a
There's
pirate
just so
podcast.
much.
There's a lot of pirate stuff.
Yeah.
I just found out about some pirate raid in the 1600s in Ireland
And Irish.
by like Muslim pirates
That's the
Sick.
thing.
in a place called Baltimore, Ireland.
Why aren't you doing an episode on that?
I might eventually, but I
Should.
couldn't find enough information about it.
Oh. Where'd you find
It was
the
kind of
initial
just
info?
sad. It was just like they took a bunch of Irish people and made them slaves.
Oh, that's
It wasn't
why
like
is
a
it
fun
sad
topic.
when the Muslims do it, but rad when Vikings do it?
yeah, that's a good question, Dan.
What's the fucking difference?
It's the swords.
Oh, Dan
The
hates
curvy.
curved
I don't like
swords.
curvy swords.
Yeah.
Do you prefer an axe?
He's not a big skimtar guy.
Yeah.
I like a battle axe or like something to bludgeon someone with.
Mm-hmm.
So you're more of like a bat guy, like a club. You like a nice club.
No, I just like variety.
Spice
I like
of life.
options.
Yeah. Well, you know, whatever his origin story is, the legends agree that Gaspar fled to the virtually, at this time, uninhabited southwestern coast of Spanish Florida.
By the way, it makes sense that you'd want to peace out because your captain's a dick. Because
Yeah.
colonial Spaniard military people, assholes.
Really?
Oh well, we did the fucking. We just did an episode. Was that on the Patreon maybe about fucking Indian Wolverine? The guy who had
Oh,
his
yeah,
hands
yeah,
cut
yeah.
off. Like
Yeah, it was your
those
episode.
people were just cutting off hands and feet and fucking everything.
The Spaniards
They were
had
lunatics.
a very insane way of doing it.
Yeah, but people also were kind of sailing under the Spanish flag that weren't Spanish. Like
No, but these people were.
like Columbus.
Yeah.
Columbus was Italian.
Yeah.
The
he was.
Italians didn't want to foot the bill.
You know, it's been a while since Rome.
Same with Magellan. Magellan was Portuguese, and he sailed under.
And Portugal didn't put him out?
No, I guess he's kind of a social outcast in Portugal.
Yeah,
Because
you were saying that. They don't
he-
like him there.
He's from I mean they have statues and everything of his in his hometown because we went past it. But they're like, yeah, he kind of lost all credibility when he went to Spain.
Look, man, if Portugal's not going to bankroll it, what do you want the man to do? He's got a
Wait.
fucking dream.
Wait for Portugal.
Yeah,
But-
I mean if he's flying under the Portuguese flag, he maybe doesn't die in the Philippines.
I mean, yeah.
It's true.
Maybe he gets away. The boat's faster.
Possibly.
They had better boats.
The Portuguese?
Yeah, Portuguese for some reason just dominated the seas for 250 years.
They did a good job.
Mhm.
They were good. But yeah, so he's sailing around in the southwestern coast off the southwestern coast of Spanish Florida at the time in the 1780s, and he lands on Gasparilla Island in Charlotte Harbor, which is just south of Tampa Bay, to establish his pirate kingdom.
You say 1780s?
Yeah,
Okay.
1780s.
So
So
this is the middle of the Revolutionary War.
I guess yeah, it will be.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
near the end, I suppose. But yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, and this guy is supposed to be terrible. There's all this legends of it. He's just like raiding, and there's not a lot to raid though either. Like Florida's very
You
uninhabited.
pop up to Georgia and the Carolinas.
yeah,
You go to
down
the Caribbean.
yeah, you
Yeah.
would like definitely hit like Cuba and
Yeah.
stuff like
Havana.
that. Yeah, but yeah, Gaspar is said to have taken many ships and held many female hostages for ransom while preying on ships in the Gulf of Mexico from Louisiana to the Spanish Main aboard his flagship, the Flora Blanca. Which
I gotta say, low key though, as a white man, a dope time to kind of be born in. If you wanted to like pick and choose.
anytime.
Well, yeah, anytime. But late 1700s in the Caribbean,
Why?
kind of Wild West vibes. You
I'm-
kind of go down there and do whatever you want.
Oh, totally. I mean, you have carte blanche to be an evil person if you would like.
Yeah.
You're setting stuff up for empire. That's
You're
fine.
setting up like fruit plantations.
Yeah. Sugar cane.
You just
yeah.
living your life.
Yeah, I mean, you heard it here first, folks. Dan thinks it would be dope to own slaves.
I didn't say that.
You said it. Your reasoning for why it
I
would
said
be
it
dope.
would be dope to be a pirate.
So pirates don't have slaves.
Well, they're crewmen.
Oh, you just want to be like a nice guy
Unpaid
on the
crewman?
Yeah, you want to be an unpaid crewman on the boat.
Well, everyone's
Got
a
it.
hand, right?
Everyone's a hand on the boat.
Everyone's a hand.
This boat, yeah.
As
Did-
Rob likes to say.
Well,
Rob does say
a
that
friend
lot.
of mine.
You're a
Almost.
close friend of yours?
Acquaintance.
Yeah.
Yeah, an unhoused friend.
If you're on a boat or a submarine long enough, you're a hand.
That's right.
Long enough.
I think within the first day.
And based on what we knew about another episode I did with the tiny jester gentleman, if all you are is a hand, you've made out real
He
good.
wasn't a hand. He was a hole.
Yeah.
Yeah. Much rather be a hand than the tiny jester.
But listen, if you're gonna grow, he grew like a foot, right?
He grew he became a normal sized boy.
he went from small person to normal.
You're telling me, all right, I have to go through 6 months of that, and I get to be 6'4"?
He did it for years.
Yeah, it was.
Right. So I'm saying 6 months, I'll grow 4 inches,
Okay. Yeah, I mean
Wow.
that stuff makes you grow up pretty fast.
and it's good for the podcast, like we talked about, being a gay bro.
Your test would be way higher.
My test is up.
Yeah.
I'm naturally jacked,
Just come back looking
and then I'm
like
6'4".
who's the bad guy from the Hulk
The bad guy from
in the
Hulk.
first
Abomination. Or
Yeah,
something?
you're just abomination. Like, it doesn't look good, but you are like.
Is that like a classic Hulk? I just realized I know nothing about the Hulk at all.
It's from the Edward Norton movie.
Oh, okay. I just know his name's Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
That's literally it.
Good job, Jake.
Yeah.
We get it. You don't watch superhero movies. You're too cool.
Well,
for
no,
it.
I know. Like, I fucking know. Like,
Yeah,
Spider-Man
jump the
guys.
shark. We get it, but like, it had its day.
Yeah, I
The
watched. Like,
Avengers was
Don't
dope.
give him any credit. Him and his wife just get high and play Harry Potter every night on the Switch.
I don't play Harry Potter every night. I play Fortnite.
That's
I play a lot of Fortnite.
even worse.
That is worse.
I love Fortnite.
Are you 12?
I get whooped by 12-year-olds at Fortnite.
I
It's
hope so.
amazing. No, I'm pretty good. I'm actually in the top 1% kill death ratio in the world.
Are you
But
ranked, bro?
I am ranked.
I was ranked at one point in NCAA football on PlayStation 2.
Our friend is a ranked Madden player.
He is ranked highly. I am not highly ranked at
Yeah,
Fortnite.
Bach is a
Yeah.
highly.
I was like top
Yeah.
5,000 in the world on PS2.
That's pretty sick. Oh, I can't wait for NCAA to come back, and I'm gonna go run.
I'm just not going to leave my house.
No.
I'm going to start a fucking
It's coming out this
dynasty
year.
with Arkansas State.
Yeah, dude, that's how you do it.
We're building our way up to the SEC.
Yeah, you get them in there. No, I love just like I think the team I'd always pick was like Bowling Green.
Oh, you take a dog shit team.
Yeah,
and
you
just-
have to.
And then you make the recruits from the local area.
Yeah,
You're
and
like, you can't leave.
yeah, you got to stay here, stay home, build a dynasty with me. But
Mhm.
also, you plug in a punter that's shit at punting.
I
and
didn't even do that.
You didn't even do that. That's always fun though.
But like he has a rocket arm.
Yeah,
and you
he's
just
got like
convert
99 throw
his-
power. but
But they're recruiting him as a punter. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, that's a nice little cheat code.
yeah, they
I
probably
never thought about.
dude. If they have like NIL and conference realignment,
They should.
You should
and
have both. You can move a team to London and Madden and shit.
actually they do. They already have conference realignment in the old NCAA.
All
for
I hope
2014.
is they don't try to make it too realistic like they have Madden.
what like
Like the movements. I don't need to I want to be able to throw off my back foot across field, across my body,
Yeah.
and not have to throw it in the dirt.
Right, exactly. Well, anyway, this guy's ship, it was named the Flora Blanca. His exploits came to a sudden end in 1821 when, to avoid being captured by the U.S. Navy, the pirate hunting schooner, the U.S. Enterprise, was after him. He ended up getting out onto his boat. He wrapped himself in anchor chains and threw himself overboard while shouting, "Gasparilla dies by his own hand, not the enemy's," which is the dumbest way out I've ever heard.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever. Also, it's not like the Americans were going to torture him or do what a Spaniard would do to him.
Like, just hang him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So,
or just go down. I mean,
it's the pirate equivalent.
God bless our boys in blue, but go down killing a few.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Suicide by pirate hunter.
Yeah.
You know? Also, I think this is the pirate equivalent of "you can't fire me, I quit."
That's literally what's happening. Yeah,
which is just the weakest move. But
no, I think that's when you get tied to an anchor, and then they just drag you across the hull of the boat.
What was that thing again? You did that episode, right? The torture.
Yeah,
where
it's the worst ways to die.
Attach you to a rope and they just
drag
sling
you
into
under.
that boat.
Yeah, I forget what it's called, but we did watch that scene from Black Sails or whatever.
Yeah, and it just cuts you up, the barnacles or whatever.
Yeah,
God, dude, that's
and then you bleed and drown.
You drown.
Yeah. Well, the salt water is just pouring into your open
wounds.
fucking wounds.
Yeah. Here's the kicker about all of this. Despite this colorful history, there is no evidence that a ship named Gaspar or Gasparilla even existed.
Boo.
Well, it's kind of like the lore of every pirate. Blackbeard's not a real person, right?
No, he is.
Blackbeard's very much a real person.
Yeah, 100% real.
But he's kind of based on multiple people, I thought.
I mean, I'm sure the legend has grown to absurd heights, but he's real.
Sure. But I guess the stories they tell of all these pirates, they're usually mashed up.
Oh, yeah.
It's usually multiple people.
That's very common, especially as the stories get bigger.
That happens a lot.
Yeah.
Jesus was 20 guys.
Shakespeare's 1,000.
Yeah,
Shakespeare was just BuzzFeed.
There's just Gilgamesh coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, reboot it.
Let's run it back one more time. Horace, let's run him back.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let's do him.
What if you were just a savior that was reincarnated every couple generations? That'd be almost taxing. That'd be tiring.
Here we
Do you
go
get
again.
Do you get executed every time?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I think you get used to it after a while.
That would blow.
Well, nowadays, you just get a little lethal injection. Although I guess I've heard that might be terrible.
Well, if they don't have the proper drugs, it can be really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been doing their own chemistry kits at the prisons because they don't want to pay top dollar for the kill you drugs.
Well, why would you? You know.
How would you like to go out, I guess, if you were on death row?
If I had
What is
to
your
pick,
request?
I might go firing squad, honestly.
Yeah.
That's got to be the
they're good
fastest.
shots.
That's got to be the fastest way to go.
100%.
It's like actually we're training the police force today.
Do you even? It's weird that you have to be awake for your death. Like, can't they just? Why don't they just put you under?
Well, that's what lethal injection's supposed to do.
Put you under and then kill you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it knocks you out first, then you die.
Hmm.
But with the new drugs or the fucking Walmart
I don't like
drugs,
that. I want these people to kind of suffer.
the whole point is to no cruel and unusual punishment. So
yeah, but
suffering,
if they're pieces of shit that murdered, I'd rather them kind of suffer.
just a little. Well, you're in luck because a lot of these fucking shoot 'em up drugs now are boiling their insides. So,
yeah.
They're
It's
dying in
very
a lot
much
of pain.
The first electric chair death, but with chemicals.
Yeah, just imagine hey, what would it feel like if I put acid in my body? That's what they're getting. It's just burning the whole way through. But so archives in Spain make no mention of Gaspar as a member of the Spanish court or an officer in the Spanish Navy. The U.S. Navy has no documentation indicating that any of its vessels ever encountered a pirate named Gaspar or a ship named the Flora Blanca. And neither Gaspar nor anyone claiming to be a member of his crew are mentioned in the records of hundreds of piracy trials from the era, which was well after the golden age of piracy. So, even after the golden age of piracy, they started taking a lot more records.
Because the golden age of piracy was pre-United States.
Yeah.
It was like the early 18th century.
Yeah. So, people were logging this shit, though, too. Also, despite the fact that the supposed location of Gaspar's regal base at Gaspar Island had been developed into a resort town of Boca Grande, no artifacts or other physical evidence of the hideout, the ship, or his lost treasure has ever been found in Southwest Florida, despite years of searching by amateur and professional treasure seekers. So,
Why didn't they look in Boca?
Boca Grande?
No, Boca Raton.
What?
It's in the name. Just look in Boca Raton.
Check all Bocas.
check-
Check
a
all
Boca.
Bocas. Okay.
Check all
God,
Bocas.
it's not fucking complicated, Jake.
It-
Why are
it's-
you so aghast when I say check Boca?
It seems dumb because that's not on the southwest
in the
harbor
name,
of Florida,
dog.
but it's on the other side of Florida.
Have you heard of people moving treasure?
I guess, yeah, but I feel like they wouldn't. I guess you know what people have done like name switcheroos like Greenland and Iceland. So, yeah. Do you know what Boca Raton means?
Pretty rat.
It means old person.
It means rat lips.
Rat lips?
I'm pretty sure Boca is mouth, rat mouth, and
Oh,
Raton.
It
mouth of
means
the rat.
closes at 8.
It means blue plate special in Spanish.
Early bird special, baby.
Yeah. Raton Spanish meaning is mouse. So yeah, it means mouse mouth.
Sweet.
Yeah. But anyway, so how did this all come to be? I guess is the question. Like, we know this guy isn't real. How did this legend start? And it's in Florida history books up until a certain date.
Because they're just like, yeah, fuck it.
Exactly.
They're like, I'm sure at some point in Texas history books, they were like, and at the Alamo, Davy Crockett killed 5 bears that the Mexicans rode in on.
He actually made a hat. He made the raccoon hat on site.
Davy Crockett was a crisis actor.
Davy Crockett was a crisis actor?
Yes.
Hell yeah. We need to make that shirt.
The Alamo wasn't even a thing.
It wasn't.
Just give it up.
Yeah. It's not even the real Alamo. We've discussed this. It's not even the real Alamo. That's not it.
What's the real Alamo?
That's just a different one.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there's plenty of missionaries in San Antonio.
Yeah. It
that
moved.
were more important.
It got moved. So yeah,
they were just kind of very just stuck in their ways. Like, no, we're not going to leave this place.
That
we're
was
going to go down
pointless.
like a real Texan.
yeah.
Which isn't even a thing yet. I think
Come
they call
and
themselves Texians.
Texans.
Come and take it. Okay. Sure.
Apparently that was a different battle. I was making
Oh,
that joke
yeah.
for years. Where
Yeah.
some Texan lit me up for it. Rightly so, because I was wrong. But I was just like, yeah, come and take it is the dumbest thing, because the Texans were like, come and take it, and the Mexicans were like, okay, we're going to. It's going to be. And then we did, and we told you we were going to. But he was like, no, it's a different battle, you dumb fuck. And I was like,
Actually-
oh, all right.
But again, don't correct us.
Don't. Also, I kind of think you should still say it. Just like keep laying in, and just like it's like a troll move, you know. But yeah, the real simple truth to all of this is tourism. Tourism is the reason we have this, right?
So they just wanted a good story to sell to get people there.
Yeah. So in the early 1900s, the southwest coast of Florida was seeing a boom from being a fairly unpopulated area and not much of an attraction at all to an actual destination.
In the early, 1900s, you said?
Oh, like the turn of the century.
Is this, is Tampa a cattle area yet?
It was a big old bull town. That's
It-
why USF is the bulls.
Yeah.
It is. It's cattle now.
It's a cow town.
At this point.
It's a cow town at this
Yeah.
point. All right.
Has
So it just
been.
smells like fucking humid
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. That's why USF is the Bulls, if anyone's curious.
But still doesn't make sense that they're South Florida.
no, that's because I don't think
It's
there's
West Florida.
I don't think there's any other public school that far south yet. I
At
don't
the
think.
time it was made.
Yeah.
There certainly are.
Yeah. Now there are. There's plenty. But just for context of understanding how small Tampa was, while Florida is like the 3rd most populated state today,
Mm-hmm.
in the 1880s they're
It's not.
They're bottom of the pack. They're like
It's not third most populated.
it's the 3rd most populated state
It passed New York.
Mhm.
Oh wow.
in the 2020 census.
All the New Yorkers came down from COVID.
COVID did it.
What the fuck accent was that?
Just riffing.
Having fun, having a
All right,
laugh.
all
I
right.
don't need you and Jake all up in my fucking jokes.
No,
all
your
right?
your Boca thing was just bad. I'm gonna call it.
You don't yes and stuff when you're hosting. It's fine.
I don't. I need to be better about that. You know what? This New Year, Dan, I will yes and harder.
I mean, we're like 20 days in, but
Well, I just decided.
Maybe
no.
next year. Maybe 2025.
We'll try it next year.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good. That sounds right. So, yeah, basically in the 1880s, Florida's like bottom of the pack. I think they're like the 33rd or
Yeah.
40th.
nobody's fucking there.
Yeah. You don't really see a population boom in Florida really until the 1960 census. And I have to think that's because it wasn't until the late 50s that most homes had AC.
Yeah.
So you see it jump into like the 20s finally once AC becomes more prevalent. But in 1880, Tampa's population was less than 1,000. So it was like
Jeez, in
700.
the 1880s even?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it was like 700 people. But in just 25 years, it jumped to north of 20,000. So around the time,
Rob, you have to remember these are fucking swamps.
Yeah,
Like,
it is gross.
in order
Yeah.
to get there and
Yeah.
build the infrastructure in Florida, it took time.
Yeah.
Sure, like what the oldest city in America technically is
St. Augustine.
St.
St. Augustine,
Yeah.
but Man,
the Spaniards did that.
we had Georgia was our buffer.
I feel
they
like
were not a part of the U.S. Really.
I feel like especially that's true on the Gulf Coast because on the Atlantic coast, it's probably pretty easy to at least like take a boat
down. Yeah, sure.
from Charleston or New York,
Yeah,
or,
definitely.
or Baltimore, whatever. But like, yeah, like who's going to the Gulf side?
Ooh, yeah. I mean, it's hard to get to, for sure. I guess you go around. That's not too bad. But yeah. So basically, yeah, at around 1905, it's about 20,000 people in Tampa now, and there was a feeling that the city could continue to grow. But the question is, how do you get the city to grow? Like, it's growing, it's happening, but like, how do we ramp it up and get more money?
Right.
Get more people to visit it.
You make a dome.
Yeah.
And you put a baseball team in it.
That's right. You make the Tropicana Dome.
And then you're
Field.
like, 10 years after it's built, you're like, this is a piece of shit. We need to rebuild something.
10 years after
But you
it's
never
built,
do.
They still haven't done it.
They are about to rebuild the.
They're actually
Rays
going to do it
Stadium.
finally.
They're finally doing
And
one's
it.
gonna go.
Tropicana's not old. It's like 20 years old.
No one's
It's
going to go.
25 years old.
Yeah, it's fairly new.
The Marlins have a state-of-the-art stadium in the middle of their entire Cuban population, and no one goes to those goddamn games.
with a fucking
There's shit to do.
fever
dude.
dream Rube Goldberg machine.
It's
in
on the outside
outfield.
now. It's not in the
I'm
outfield.
of
it's on
the
the-
opinion major metropolitan cities shouldn't have teams, really.
People would be a lot more grateful, like if you just dropped it in like
That's why you send it to B-tier cities. Like Oklahoma City loves the Thunder. Like
Yeah.
St. Louis and the
dude.
Cardinals.
Absolutely.
Green Bay. Yeah.
Even like in
Yeah.
Indy. Indy loves the Colts.
Indianapolis has a lot of
Love
teams.
the Pacers.
They don't have a baseball team, do they?
No.
That's interesting to me. That
It's a basketball state.
is a basketball state, that's for sure. But yeah, the whole point of tourism is to attract spending from visitors, and obviously the other like two-pronged part of that is you bring more residents in for tax collection too, so you can fund more public works projects. The first verifiable written account of Jose Gaspar appears in 1900 exactly. So fat chance on this guy being real for sure. Like
Okay.
the first verifiable thing about him is 1900. He's mentioned as part of an advertising brochure for the Gasparilla Inn in the newly established town of Boca Grande on Gasparilla Island. So, you know when you go to like an amusement park,
Right.
and it's named like Colonel Willie's or something
Yeah.
like that, and it has like a backstory on
Colonel
who
Willie's not real?
Yeah. No, it turns out Colonel Willie, not real.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, it's got a little backstory. That's who Jose Gaspar is.
Okay. He's just a fake fucking guy.
For a brochure for a shitty hotel.
That anchor thing sounds fake. I was actually thinking about this. Who tied him to the anchor? I guess his guys.
Yeah, his boys did.
And he was like, throw it off. I'm going to be a legend for this one.
Yeah. And boy was he. But yeah, so the brochure was produced and widely distributed by the Charlotte Harbor and Northern Railway, which built the resort at the end of its rail line. So it's definitely a railroad play. Besides promotional material and contact information for the inn, the brochure prominently features the story of Jose Gasparilla, the last of the Buccaneers. It said he had terrorized the Gulf of Mexico for almost 40 years, and that's kind of where that story comes from. But among its many dubious claims, the short biography said that the nickname Gasparilla means Gaspar the Outlaw. But that's also very verifiably false. That's just people don't know Spanish.
Yeah.
Gasparilla literally just means, if you go for like what it just means little Gaspar. Just all it means is little guy, little Gaspar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where did Bucko Bruce come from?
Bucko Bruce, what's that?
It's the Buccaneers logo. The guy.
Oh, the dude?
The guy, their old logo. I
The
believe is-
creamsicles?
The creamsicles, I
Yeah.
believe his name is Bucko Bruce.
I don't know. I love the creamsicles though. Those are
Oh,
terrible uniforms.
We peaked in the 90s. There was no reason to change anything.
Oh, when everything had to be modernized for 2000?
For some reason in
Oh,
2000,
they really
was the year
like
2000.
Y2K'd
Y2K'd it.
everything up. It was
Yeah.
so we're in the
everything's
future now.
futuristic, and it's just like, no, this just looks like ass.
Awful.
Yeah, everything's Matrix now. Everyone's wearing leather, like dumb neon colors, bright greens. Not fun 90s colors.
Neon had a time in the 90s too, in the 80s. But it
Those
looked-
were
it
fun.
Was, it was fun and, it was a good time.
I think all that the Y2K aesthetic
Eagles,
did
Kelly
was,
Greens.
was-
You had the creamsicles for the Bucks. You had the Broncos old
Oh,
uniforms.
the
that
old
were sick.
Broncos
Old
uniform.
Broncos uniforms are
the
goddamn
D with the horse in it.
beautiful.
Mhm.
Yeah, the old Seahawks uniform.
Yep.
Yeah. No, they were all good. Everything just got kind of like dumb, and
And now we're going back. It's all
Yeah.
cycles.
yeah, I imagine
For example, I mean, we're this game that we have on in the background, Bills Chiefs, both classic uniforms.
they haven't changed much at all.
No, not much.
Yeah, Bill's uniform's actually pretty good looking.
Bill's
admire it.
logo's a little different, I believe. It's just a different kind of bill.
Yeah.
That's definitely
Buffalo.
that's definitely a 2000
I
kind
think
of thing.
when they were losing all their, this is like the updated OJ version. When they were losing all their Super Bowls, they had a blue helmet.
Yeah.
That's right.
No, I think that away helmet too.
I think
They might have had alternates. Who knows? Anyway, so it claimed that Gasparilla Island was named for the pirate when the name actually appears on Spanish and English maps from well before the supposed arrival of this pirate.
Okay.
And it claimed that the bleached bones of Gaspar's victims with many old coins had been discovered in local Indian mounds when no such find has ever been documented.
It'd be funny if it was like mermaids and everyone was like, oh, no, those are manatee bones. Also, I like to think that Gasparilla, they threw him off the ship tied to an anchor, and he went through a manatee.
Through a manatee.
He did go through a manatee.
A dead
That's right.
carcass.
Yeah, he thought he was going to bounce off of it.
Yeah.
They just float like potatoes.
They do.
And that's
Are they like just nothing but fat? I feel like that would just be a great source of food for early Florida. Like, how did Indians in Florida not hunt those fucking things to death?
they're so easy to hunt.
They are.
I bet they did.
Like, they should be like Indian tribes should have truly wiped them out.
No, they use every part of the body, and there's a lot of fucking blubber on that body.
It's hard to get through.
Mm-hmm.
There is a very, very funny troll account or like website that advertises manatee steaks, and like it didn't look so obviously fake for a while, and
Yeah.
people were getting pissed.
That's really fucking
They're like,
funny.
no, it's fine. What's the big deal? They're great sources of food. But yeah, I've never seen the manatee meat, but I'm very curious what it would look like.
It's all marble. It's all fat.
Boy, you need to wear your glasses for these.
No, I'm just
Because you always
I do.
you
You're right.
struggle.
I do. I
I'm
need to look at
concerned, man. Are you okay?
What's your vision at?
bad. It's just bad.
Do you not wear contacts?
No.
You 20/40?
I like to think of my eyesight as like I live in a world like Monet. You know, I'm just like living in an impressionist world
Okay.
where everything's not as, I don't need to see.
I was kind of like that until I was 16 and then I finally got contacts. But I still don't know how I was able to play sports not being able to see.
It's
was
crazy.
night
You
and
just get
day.
used to it.
It's
Like,
crazy that you didn't get a lot better once you were able to see.
That is crazy.
I got pretty better.
But like a lot better?
No. No. I got better at hitting the baseball.
I was about to say, like, yeah, it's like if it's got to be baseball, at least got better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basketball, it was all feel, so no.
Yeah.
I could hit shots either way.
Fair enough. But yeah, so the brochure was penned by publicist Pat Lemoyne, who combined and embellished regional tall tales attributed to well-known and recently deceased local fishing guide Panther John. So the Gaspar
John.
is based off of Panther John, who probably didn't do that much. He was just a fishing guy. He got into some shit, but like most of it's
Wait, was Panther John from the same era as Gaspar?
let me
That sounds
see.
like a guy from the
No,
mid
he
1800s
rec-
or at
No,
present.
Panther
just-
John sounds like a guy now.
Yeah.
He just died when they wrote this brochure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Panther John is like a booster for Plant High School
Yeah.
trying to get all these kids out of district reorganized.
But he's not
so
a
they can be on
booster
the
with
team.
money.
No. But he has establishments around
Yeah.
the Tampa area.
Yeah. Oh, Plant. Yeah,
Yeah.
they are a little powerhouse now.
They're a power plant.
They are a power plant. Them and Aquinas too in Lakeland.
But
Can't
yeah,
fuck with those
Panther
guys.
John or whatever the fuck his name
Panther
is.
John Gomez. Yeah.
Panther John is a guy that is your local high school just car dealership.
Yeah. Come on out to Panther John for Rocktoberfest. Yeah.
And then all the money goes out and buys the uniforms for the high school.
He's got every fence, every infield or outfield. It's got a logo for him. You know, I just want to own a business one day. We got to sponsor. We should sponsor like a local high school and just buy a sign. Like,
Yeah, Bowie's by my old house has a bunch of
yeah, we could
sponsors
totally
up.
just do that.
Yeah.
It's like a Buddy Garrity situation.
It's 1,000% Buddy Garrity.
Yeah,
situation,
that's Panther John.
Totally. But yeah, years later, Lemoyne gave a local history lecture in which he admitted that he'd written the Gasparilla story, to quote him, in a style that tourists like to hear, but that it was without a true fact in it, so it was totally bullshit.
Okay. So
But-
Gaspar confirmed fake as fuck.
The Gaspar is confirmed fake as fuck.
Okay.
But how did a brochure tall tale become fact? That's the other thing.
You say it long enough.
In 1923, author Francis Bradley obtained a copy of the Gasparilla Inn brochure and, assuming it was a fact, included Gaspar in a book he was writing about piracy in the West Indies.
Oh, like a historical,
historical-
nonfiction.
He didn't check his shit. He just assumed it.
How do you even check it? Like, you got to write a letter to Spain to get military records?
Well, people,
It would take like 10 years to write that book.
but still, yeah, the records were available, is what I'm saying. Like, and there's also records from the state of Florida that would
Rob, are
document
you not
something.
committed
Yeah.
enough to a project to spend 10 years on?
Books probably take a long time. Yeah. But yeah, so basically, this guy. Anytime you guys want to knock on us for not being right, just know that like we aren't altering history by any stretch of the imagination. This guy actually did. So this era led to Jose Gaspar being mentioned in several additional other nonfiction books about piracy in Florida history.
Because at that point, you're just cribbing other people's works.
Yep. Yeah, and that's like, oh, that's a real book. This was cited and sourced and all this stuff. He probably didn't include, oh, I got this from a fucking brochure.
Yeah. How do you fucking AP style source a hotel's brochure?
Can you imagine? Yeah, like can you imagine just like you're reading like a history book and then it starts talking about Steamboat Willie and like the steam engine years.
Well, we can use Steamboat Willie now. He's
We can.
Public domain.
Yeah, we got to find fun ways to do that.
Just
But-
insert him right here.
Here he is. Hi, Steamboat.
Hey, Steamboat Willie.
Ooh, what are you doing? What are you doing to my mouth?
How's the river today?
He just pops up and like holds the subscribe sign on our YouTube.
Boop, boop. Oh, my God.
Do him.
But yeah, we should do that.
Do that.
He's just like, choo, choo, subscribe. Subscribe. I saw that's not, he didn't have a voice.
No, he didn't. He
So we
whistled.
can't, that Mickey Mouse voice from later.
He whistled. Yeah. Yeah, so essentially what happened was someone didn't do their research and we got history telephone. It's like when dudes get trolled kind of by like fake Twitter stuff. And then like maybe one day we'll have a holiday or something based off of a troll tweet, I hope. Because like right now we kind of do and it's Gasparilla.
Yeah.
Like
At least for
That's-
part of the country.
like a big the third largest parade is due to someone not looking something up. That's incredible to me. But yeah, the funny story about all of this is the first Gasparilla parade happened almost immediately after the story was fabricated. They did it like the day.
well, hell yeah. You
Yeah.
know, they're just like, fuck it. Let's
Yeah.
go.
So the first parade was held in May 1904 after the Tampa Tribune Society editor and Tampa's director of customs decided to combine elements of Mardi Gras with the legend of Gaspar and, you know, hype shit up for Tampa, like make an event. So the first occurrence consisted of several dozen
I mean, first off, this just, in a way, this sounds like, look, we already have another holiday that is nationwide, technically worldwide. That is just nothing but lies.
Thanksgiving?
No, St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, yeah. St. Patrick's
Drove
Day.
snakes out of Ireland and all that shit. Like,
Yeah.
that is Gasparilla.
What's inaccurate about that story?
He didn't drive the snakes out of Ireland.
got the
Have you
Druids
been to
out, right?
Ireland?
He ate all of them.
Yeah. But have you been to Ireland?
That's what I'm saying. He ate all the snakes in Ireland. People,
I ain't seen a single snake when I was there.
again, because he ate them
In my
all.
dreams.
He ate them all.
I've never been to Ireland.
Okay. You should go.
But yeah, Druids, Protestants, they are snakes. So we
They are
just
snakes,
drove
yes.
them out.
Yeah. So the first parade.
Although they weren't Protestant back then. They were just fucking pagan.
Yeah. Protestants didn't exist yet.
No, that was when they wanted to separate from the church.
Yeah.
It was long after St. Patrick. But still, fuck the
They
Protestants.
doth
Fuck
protest too
pagans.
much.
Fuck them Protestants.
I like pagans. They're cool.
Pagans are cool because
Yeah.
like we hijack a lot of stuff from them.
Yeah. They had good stuff. They had good stuff for stealing.
They had good IP. Yeah.
Yeah. Great IP.
We
the
took what we
pagans.
needed,
Yeah.
discarded the rest.
Right. The actual value.
Well, I
But
mean,
you're like, you made it like Wonder Bread, basically.
Come
It's
on.
like, this isn't real.
Everybody
anymore.
loves Wonder Bread.
But yeah, so the first ever Gasparilla is my favorite one because these business guys just didn't tell anyone they were doing it. So they just dressed as pirates during the May Day festival and like would run up to people and be like, start to harass them and be like, just kidding. Come to
Yeah.
the May Day parade.
Rawr, I'm
Yeah.
a pirate. We're in it. Like, I don't know pirates anymore. Can we get a parade? Come on, get out.
Yeah, so they were actually riding through town on horses trying to simulate a surprise pirate invasion. It scared some people, which was pretty funny. But
What? Who did it scare?
one of the locals, I don't know, there weren't a lot.
They thought that pirates from a different century just showed up?
You gotta imagine, like, probably just some like simpleton. It's like, what? You know. But the second Gasparilla the following year was not a surprise, as every automobile owner in town. So wait, geez, so they had
oh boy.
were cars around in 1905?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I don't know the history of cars. too
Dog,
well.
we flew in 1903.
That doesn't mean anything to me.
It does.
Nah,
It
not
should.
Well, it doesn't mean just because we flew in 1903 doesn't mean we were like doing it
You
well.
didn't think we had cars by 1905?
I didn't necessarily think that everyone would have one. Like I thought like a rich person or two might. You know.
There was enough.
There's enough.
And also,
cars.
you got to think, too, this is probably largely, or there's a lot of, like, people who, you know, are in industries that might require an automobile.
That's true. Yeah, actually in Florida too, probably a lot more driving.
Yeah.
It's not like things are close, like up in New England. So, but yeah, everyone with a car made a parade float. So the Pirate Theme Festival was not held again, though, until 1910, when it was revived as part of a community celebration marking the opening of the Panama Canal. And
Just having a party for
Dude.
a canal way far away.
I think
Panama Canal was like a big deal at the time. Like people were like,
it's
"We are
huge.
conquering fucking Earth."
like Brooklyn Bridge and before that, I think the Brooklyn Bridge was probably the biggest engineering
Dog,
feat.
it's a big deal now.
The Panama Canal?
Yes.
Absolutely, it's important.
Yeah,
It's so important.
For supply chain, it's
Yeah,
incredibly
you don't have to go
vital.
around 2 continents. Like it's great.
I'll tell you this. Here's how important the Panama Canal is. That basically the Houthi rebels are kind of fucking with the Suez Canal. Not literally the Suez Canal, but traffic that goes up into the Suez Canal, right? If someone was doing that to the Panama Canal, there would be an invasion by the United States into that territory.
we
It
would
would
just-
not be airstrikes. It would not be missiles.
I don't know why we gave it back.
Yeah, right.
We should control that.
It's funny that
That would be
time,
the 51st state.
like,
almost
we built
immediately. Yeah.
the hot thing to do was just like conquer something, but then like, hey, we're actually just leasing it for 100 years.
Yeah.
Panama Canal in the U.S., Hong Kong, and Britain. It was just like the ethical way to conquer something in the late,
Yeah.
19th century.
That's why everyone says we lose these wars, because we don't
We just stopped trying.
colonize it, I guess.
Yeah.
We don't really occupy it. We just kind of stay there for a couple of years and then leave.
It's because we rightfully don't play by like Mongolian rules anymore.
Yeah.
We could.
We could.
We could have Vietnam right now if we wanted.
I mean,
We could have Korea.
listen.
We could have fucking Afghanistan.
If they let MacArthur do it, you could have everywhere. It just wouldn't be worth having.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right? Like you can't just turn
You don't
it
get
on.
to.
the sun
we
never
don't-
sets on the American Empire.
You don't want how we would take Vietnam.
We choose when the sun rises.
Yeah.
in the American Empire.
We just block the sun off from the rest of the world.
We make a
The
second
Dipper,
sun. Yeah.
Like, you get sun today, but maybe not tomorrow.
Japan, you get 2 sunrises today. Hiroshima? Anyway, in 1913, a Gasparilla carnival that included a pirate parade and weekend festival was organized as an independent event, and that's where the parade has since sprung from. So the parade is kind of like has continued going, except for I think 1 year.
Okay.
COVID.
No, COVID. It still happened because it was in January. It was in January.
Yeah, the
So
year after, though, because I know
2020
it was bucking in like.
2021. It happened too.
Okay.
In Ron DeSantis' Florida.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
COVID wasn't a thing there or here.
It was after the 2 weeks. It was over.
Also, I'm sorry I brought it up. YouTube's going to ding us. God damn it.
What?
COVID.
Just saying the word.
What?
We've
Why?
said it. We've said it 3 times. They hate it.
Just bleep it out.
Yeah, just bleep it out. Anyway, the first shipborne invasion came in 1911 when a merchant vessel was borrowed, decorated, and temporarily rechristened the Jose Gaspar for the day. But yeah, a series of borrowed ships were used until the 1930s. And the current ship, the Jose Gasparilla II, debuted in 1954 and continues to be used this day. So they're still using this old-ass ship. It's actually a 137-foot long, 36-foot wide steel barge that they just dressed up like a pirate ship. It's just like the most stock boat ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, the current ship has crossed Tampa Bay to lead every Gasparilla invasion since its launching, except in 1971 when the weather was bad. So they've had the parade every single year. They just didn't have an invasion 1 year on
Just
by
not
boat.
in 71.
That's sweet.
71.
There's just a party with an amphibious landing.
Yeah, it's fucking dope,
I'm into
dude.
that. I want to go to Gasparilla.
You
Because
should.
Gasparilla, by the way, well, Mardi Gras is too, I guess. Like, I mean, I walked into fucking the French Quarter the day before Mardi Gras, like the Monday or whatever, and the first thing I saw was a 60-something-year-old woman. It's on my Instagram, I think. 60-something-year-old woman, like sucking a dildo in the middle of the street.
Jesus Christ, really?
Yeah,
That's incredible.
She was gross.
Was she doing it well?
I was just kind of in there.
She's just like kind of like lazy.
Yeah, it was just kind of hanging out like a cigar.
That's weird. That's troubling to me.
Hey, let me try and find it. It was a troubling sight. I mean, and I swear to God, that was within like 30 fucking seconds
I
of
don't
being
judge here.
Oh, we know.
I'm not judging, but I was just like,
Sounds a little judgmental.
Then
in
when
your
I saw
voice.
a kid like 10 minutes later, I was like, you shouldn't be here, sir.
No, I'm not judging her on the act itself. I'm judging her on the commitment to the act.
Dude, there's no rules in Mardi Gras.
No, I'm saying like she was just kind of like.
I'm talking to Rob.
It was
Oh.
a soft suck.
Yeah,
Like,
it just seems.
if you're in the vicinity of Mardi Gras or even Gasparilla
you
at
should
this point,
expect it.
man, I don't know what to tell you.
I-
Like, you're gonna be exposed to some things that a children probably shouldn't be exposed to.
I'm gonna be real. I remember
Shouldn't be exposed to.
100%.
the thing that you really need to remember if you're a young person going to Gasparilla, it's better than Mardi Gras because everyone dresses up like a slutty pirate.
Everyone's a pirate.
Yeah.
And that is the best thing about college.
Slutty costumes.
Oh, here we
Slutty
go.
costumes.
Oh my God! This you gotta send that to
I'm gonna
Dan
send
so
it to you so you can superimpose it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
this is that's incredible.
And she's wearing is that a New Orleans like baby king jersey?
Oh, it's just a
No,
Mardi Gras
that's
rugby
just the classic
shirt, or-
Mardi
yeah.
Gras polo shirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought what is that like horrifying baby?
The Baby King?
The king baby.
The King baby.
I
For
thought
the-
it was like a
It's
king
in the king
baby.
cake. The baby's in the king cake.
Yeah, it looked like a king baby hockey jersey
Wait,
from a distance.
that's the baseball team, isn't it?
No.
It's not.
The king baby is just I mean they pull him out for Pelican games. Like
I'm
he
pretty
shows
sure-
up to the basketball arena. But he's just a mascot for the cake, I believe.
It's part of the whole
New Orleans thing.
Yeah, but I believe they also have an amateur. Yeah, they have a minor league baseball team called the King Babies too.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's like the actual thing. But yeah, no, I mean, I'll be real. The one time I did Gasparilla, I don't really even remember that much because
You
it
did
was
it
such
once?
I only did it once. Yeah,
I've been to Gasparilla, I believe, 6 times.
you've been 6 times. That's a lot. Wait,
It was every year.
Did you go when you were just living in Orlando?
Post-grad
still?
too, yeah.
Yeah, post grad. I mean, might as well. It's fun. It's a good time. No, it's the 3rd largest parade in the country. It's a giant party fest where everyone's dressed as pirates, and it's made off of bullshit. It's the most American thing in the world, really, if you think about it.
What's that? Just the dream of being a pirate?
Yeah, just the dream of being a pirate based on
Every child at some point in your life
Wants to be a pirate.
wanted to be a goddamn pirate.
So I'll tell the story. I dressed as a pirate one time when we went to Disney World. I wanted to dress as a pirate. My mom's like, "Fucking whatever, that's fine."
Oh, like as a
Did you
kid.
go on the ride?
See, I saw a kid go to my kid's daycare dressed as Spider-Man for on a normal day, and I was like, "That kid's a loser. Kid's gonna grow up to be weird."
Yeah, but if you're going to Disney World, you can dress up as a kid.
Yeah,
Sure.
That's
Not
kids.
not your wife though, which she would. Your wife would definitely dress up to go to Disney, wouldn't she?
We do a lot of aerial play.
Aerial play.
Yeah, the
Is that
Little
your
Mermaid.
Little Mermaid?
Yeah.
Cosplay, but not in the bedroom.
Yeah, in the tub.
Mm-hmm.
What?
We
Oh
get-
well, you got to keep her alive.
She has her own tail.
Yeah.
She
Dude.
zips it up.
Those tails kill people.
Oh yeah, I saw. Have you seen that video that there's like a mall and I feel like it's Dubai or something crazy like that, where they have just like mermaids swimming around, and this mermaid got her tail stuck on a rock.
Oh no, she died.
She got dragged under, yeah.
Did she?
No, she
She
was
got
able
chopped
to
to pieces.
escape, but they did kill her for taking the tail off.
I was about to say like maybe at that. Do they have just like mermaids floating at the top, like when your fish dies?
yeah,
It
yeah.
just floats at the top of the tub.
And then they flush it down a giant toilet.
There's actually a
that
giant-
Dubai built for that specific
reason.
reason
This
because
is-
they can build whatever they want.
That's true. It's amazing to see what they can do with unlimited money.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna just like do a whole like reef system, island system that looks like the world.
I don't believe a lot in this crazy world, but there's one thing I do believe, and that's let Dubai cook.
And the Saudis.
Yeah, just let
I've
'em
turned like a full 180 on the Saudis.
cook. Let them cook.
Let them do whatever they want.
You never were anti-Saudi.
I was for a little bit.
Because they're fucking up his favorite sport.
They're fucking golf,
yeah.
but
Well, too late for that.
they've consumed it now, so I've accepted it.
Yeah, I like all
them
the I like all the rumors going around that like Texas A&M is being their NIL is being funded by Saudi Aramco.
I also just like that MBS is Rob's age.
That is
And
hilarious.
he just runs.
He's
he
37.
runs like a big chunk of the Middle East.
He runs the Middle
He's
East.
pretty
he is
much. Yeah.
He
probably
is the
the
Middle
most
East.
important person in that region.
And I just like
which puts it in the running for like top 20 most important people
He's
on
definitely
Earth.
one of the most important.
I just
people in
like the
world.
dynamic that he has to deal with of him trying to be progressive, quote unquote, for the Middle East.
He's like, can we just not act like it's the year 1200 anymore?
And he
Yeah.
still has to kind of like appease the old school,
Yeah.
He has to have a couple beheadings. once a
old
month.
guard. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like, all right, we gotta kill some gays,
Yeah.
but women can ride bikes now.
Aren't you guys happy?
Unless they're menstruating.
Well, that's just bad for this.
So that's just like a fun dynamic.
Yeah. Super, super kitschy, super fun, very cool.
You can make that into like a little sitcom.
Yeah, totally. What'd you guys learn today?
I didn't really learn much.
You already knew it.
I'm entrenched in the Gasparilla lore. So
Okay. Yeah, you're deep in it. You're a big pirate guy. I didn't realize this about you.
Don't let history get in the way of tourism.
No, never. Never, ever.
especially, I mean, we don't have to in Florida.
And you know what they should do, by the way, real quick, sorry, in Gettysburg, you know the lore. Did I tell you, did I do this in, I think I did it in the Ghost of Gettysburg episode
It doesn't
we
matter.
did.
Just repeat it.
Yeah, tell us. Tell us.
How the lore is that the 20th Maine was lost on their way to the battlefield, and the ghost of George Washington showed up.
Yes, I do remember
to
this.
guide them, and then
Make
obviously the 20th
shit
Maine
up.
made their amazing stand, saved the battle, and all that stuff. They need to just pick a spot, and that's where George's ghost was.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Pick a spot.
This is where they saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, all these caves and these tourist attractions in the middle of nowhere, all these random just states.
Tourist traps? Yeah.
Like a West Virginia, Virginia. You have all these like random areas to go.
What is Virginia has the caves, right?
Virginia and West Virginia.
Yeah, I've been
But
to
just make things up. What like
Kentucky does too. Kentucky has a ton of caves.
Maybe that was where I went. I went when we were
The
coming back
Mammoth
from
Caves are in
DC.
Kentucky.
Yeah, when we were coming back from DC, I went into like a huge cave system when I was a kid.
Be like, this is where JFK hid after he was allegedly assassinated.
Yes, this is where the underground tunnel from Dallas Hospital to DC runs through.
This is where the Jewish tunnel starts,
Well, the Jewish tunnel starts in Brooklyn,
and it ends in Boca,
ends in Boca Raton.
and that's how you come full circle.
Yeah, Boca Raton, not Boca Grande. That's where the treasure's hidden. Just remember that. All right, who's Hitler? I'm
You?
gonna say me for not yes-anding. Yeah,
Is it Jake today?
that's me.
No, Hitler is the fucking people that want to shit on this alleged lore just because it's not true.
Yeah, I love it.
I think Hitler, they're not like the bad guys, but like the people I hate the most from this episode are the ones who somehow thought pirates from 200 years prior were invading Tampa Bay.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Fire the cannons.
Yeah, like
Yeah. I
Fuck
them.
off.
Yeah, those people are terrible.
They were fucking launching cannonballs into Raymond James.
Dude, I've never been to Raymond James Stadium.
You never been on the pirate ship?
I've never been on a pirate ship. I've never been to a
Been
pro
to Raymond
football
James
game.
quite a few times. My first Raymond James game I actually went to was Penn State, Tennessee Outback Bowl
Great bowl
in like
series.
2000. I'm gonna say 2008.
You go for high school?
I went in high school. Yeah,
That's fun. Outback Bowl is supposed to be really fun, from what I've heard.
was
blue
a
and
good
onion
time.
run around and shit.
Yeah. No, it's like it's weird, but like
Do
the
you guys want
Outback.
to go to Outback Steakhouse sometime?
Yeah, I fucking love Outback Steakhouse.
I don't.
Why?
Just get blue and onions.
Man, you know who actually met their wife at an Outback Steakhouse?
Yeah.
Dan Lanning,
Dan Lanning. That
coach
checks
for
out.
Oregon. Yeah,
Yeah, that checks out. Was she serving?
I don't know, but he also has a tattoo of her breast
What?
on his body. He has a tattoo of his wife's breast.
Did she lose it?
He just loves his woman's boobs.
That's one of the most unnerving things I've ever heard.
That's a wild.
Does
one.
it make
How
you
did I
think
never
differently
know that?
of Dan Lanning?
Yes, it makes me. If I was an Alabama booster and I was thinking about Dan Lanning and then heard that he had his wife's boob, not even full set of
No
breasts,
boobs.
just a boob.
No, it's both boobs.
Either way, that's semantic. It doesn't even matter. I would be like next.
And then he met her at an Outback Steakhouse.
No, that's on brand. I'd be into that.
That's fine. That is fine by itself.
I mean,
When
yeah,
you combine it, there's one thing here that's
Saban
been
lived off Little Debbie's,
Yeah.
so that's the Outback thing is fine.
There's some heavy lifting happening from one particular part of those two things you told me about.
I got to show you the tattoo.
You really need to do it.
I'll look it up.
You really need to, because I am very curious about that. Dan Lanning is Hitler. That's easily the weirdest thing. Please show me this while we're on air.
Mhm.
You got it? Let's see it.
It's literally her. I mean, it's also her face, but her boobs are in it.
Oh, it's like cleavage.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a full set of nips.
You know,
It's not. It's creepy either way.
it's weird. And she is, I believe, Native American.
Oh, dude, this whole thing?
Yeah.
This Dan, you undersold this. This is an insane tattoo.
He also has on her body and her face every spot that he's coached.
Yeah, this is really, really bizarre.
But yeah, her tits are out.
I like that the pit logo is going into her titties. Like she's getting titty fucked by the pit logo.
It's a pit tit.
Yeah, it's an even crazier
tit pit.
tattoo. I undersold it.
You really fucking did. Also,
she has
in the
an
middle
organ right now. She has an organ throat tat.
in the middle of the throat tat is a yellow ribbon. So is that like a cancer thing in the middle of the organ logo?
I think so.
Did he beat cancer? Did someone beat cancer? What's
I
the
don't-
yellow ribbon? Red is AIDS.
Sounds like
pink is breast
testicular cancer because
Yellow
strong
ribbon,
bracelets were
yeah.
yellow.
That's a good point.
Oh wait, is yellow ribbon for the troops?
Is
It's
it?
probably for multiple things, but could be. He just loves the
Suicide
troops.
prevention awareness.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
And also ball cancer.
That's a yellow wristband.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, totally.
Yellow ribbon. But yeah, no, she has the reason he couldn't go to Alabama or leave Oregon is because his tattoo of his wife, who's Native American, I think. So that
Yeah.
kind of plays. But she has an Oregon throat tat.
She has a
On my
Bama.
tattoo.
Was he at Bama at some point though? Because she.
Yeah, he was
He was
I think
with.
a GA there.
Okay.
Yeah, he was there when Kirby was the DC.
Because she does have a Bama tat.
Face
as well.
tat, yeah.
So it's wild to me to see that and then actually look at the woman and be like, oh, you aren't covered head to toe with tattoos?
No.
That is weird. That's the weirdest tattoo I've ever seen. On
It's
someone.
odd.
It's weirder than the Phoenix on Ben Affleck's back. It's weirder than any. Honestly,
I
I've
forgot
never.
about that. It's not as weird as fucking that giant dragon that Ben Affleck has or whatever. on
It's
his back.
weirder. I think Ben
What's-
Affleck's one's fine. Like that is a dumb tattoo Ben Affleck has, but it's a Phoenix, by the way.
What is written across her neck?
Who knows?
Oh, what does it say?
We'll have,
there?
to, we'll have to do an entire episode on Dan Lennon's tattoo of his wife.
It says something Titan. So
Caden Niles Titan. Is that their kid's
I
name?
think their kids' names are that, yeah.
Oh,
He has a kid
dude,
named
they
Titan?
spelled it all awful too. Caden is Cadon. Niles is Knil.
that's tough. There's a silent K in that kid's name.
I never want Oregon to win a fucking game again. Yeah, of course he met her at an Outback. If their names are Caden and Niles with a K and Titan,
She's Native American.
none of those are native.
None of those are Native American names. Caden, come on. Anywho, now that we've had this revelation, thank you for listening. We really appreciate it. Go check out our Patreon again, patreon.com/softcorehistory. Like, subscribe, review. Please review on Apple if you can. Actually write something down. Is there something you wanted to read, Dan, or are we going to do that next week?
Reviews, man. We can read some
We
of
have
these
some good reviews right now,
Yeah,
Yeah, we
let's
can
do
read
it. Let's do it.
Great show. Love the show. Would love an episode diving into the history of Big Game Safari. Maybe
Down.
we can do that. Another great show review. Absolute calamity. You'll learn stuff in a really dumb way. Somehow it's perfect. I can't really explain it. Sick merch too. A review from Matty Ice 28. Sup. This isn't Substock. Thanks for the 5 stars, but maybe you'll get some Substock content in the
Maybe.
future.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We tease a-
Patreon.com/softcore history. $5 a month. Maybe you get a Patreon episode.
Oh,
of
my God. Maybe once a month you get a little
Substock.
Substock.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Get Dan drunk again. From Jared Tex. Been listening
Agreed.
forever. 11 out of 10. Recommend. Best way to kind of learn history.
I
You
love
boys
kinda-
finally got me to leave Spotify and actually come on here to leave a review.
Thank
Good
you.
work. Get Dan on the booze. Yes, I will not be drinking until we hit 1,000 reviews. We are at 929.
That's
Okay.
serious fact. I feel like this is. If you want Dan to drink, please leave a review. I
Please.
don't know if anyone's going to troll you.
And
but-
will
I want fun.
Dan, will your initial drink be you just getting bombed on the show?
Yeah, I'll get bombed.
That's good. We
I'll
just
do
get you
that.
hammered
Yeah, all
on a
right,
free
cool.
week.
No, I'll do it on a week.
Oh, do it on
Host
your
the
own
show.
episode.
yeah, I
That'd
think
be
that's
great.
the way to go.
Okay, well,
whenever we hit 1,000 reviews.
yeah. So please
I'll
leave
get
those
bombed on the
reviews.
episode.
But yeah, that's it. That's our time. For Dan Regester and Rob Fox, I'm Jake Goldman.
You just got saw served.